हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू आवर सीरीज बूस्ट योर बेसिक्स। आज हम पढ़ेंगे मोनोफेजिक लिक्विड डोजेज फॉर्म। ये वीडियो दो पार्ट्स में होगा और उसका पार्ट 1 हम आज पढ़ेंगे एंड विल आल्सो सॉल्व फ्यू एमसीक्यूज। सो नाउ लेट्स स्टार्ट विद टुडेज सेशन। मोनोफेजिक लिक्विड डोजेज फॉर्म। ओके, आज हम पढ़ेंगे द वंस विच आर यूज्ड इंटरनली and the ones which are used oral topically. Okay, and the other two, that is ones which are instilled in the body cavity, and the topical ones we'll see in the next session. Okay, now before coming to the major classification, सबसे पहले हम कुछ advantages और disadvantages देखते हैं. Okay, so सबसे पहले advantages में आता है bioavailability. What is bioavailability? Bioavailability is the rate and extent at which the drug is getting absorbed in the systemic circulation. ओके तो इसकी बायोअवेलेबिलिटी मतलब मोनोफेजिक लिक्विड डोसेज फॉर्म की बायोअवेलेबिलिटी बहुत अच्छी होती है कंपेयर टू अदर डोसेज फॉर्म. ओके, लेट्स सी वन एग्जांपल. In case of tablet, okay, this tablet first has to undergo the disintegration step, right? After this disintegration step, it has to undergo the dissolution step. Then it will get absorbed through GIT and it will reach the systemic circulation, right? Then we are having the suspension. Okay, सस्पेंशन के केस में जो पार्टिकल्स है, सॉलिड पार्टिकल्स, दे आर सस्पेंडेड इन अ लिक्विड, राइट? सो देन दे हैज टू अंडरगो द डिसोल्यूशन स्टेप, then they will get absorbed through GIT and then they will reach the systemic circulation, right? But in case of solution, the drug is already present in the solution form, right? So then it will get mixed with the GI fluids, it will get absorbed through GIT and then it will reach the systemic circulation. Okay, so this is the advantage of this this solution forms. Okay, monophasic liquid dosage form, that it has a greater bioavailability compared to other dosage forms. Then second advantage is about irritant drugs. Okay, कुछ जो drugs है वो irritation cause करते हैं. Okay, and if they are given in the form of tablet, लेकिन अगर हमने वो solution form में दिया तो वो dilute हो जाएगा and will not feel that much irritation, right? So this is another advantage. Then next we are having the class of geriatrics and pediatrics patient. Okay, they find it very easy to administer this kind of preparation. Okay, this kind of liquid dosage form, monophasic liquid dosage form. Then the next thing is high dosage accuracy. Okay, इनकी dosage accuracy भी बहुत high होती है. Okay, so this is another advantage. Then we'll see some disadvantages. In case of disadvantages, सबसे पहला आता है poor solubility of the drugs. Okay, जो drugs poorly soluble होते हैं, okay, to make them more soluble, we are then going towards another process such as complexation, then co-solvency. Okay, अगर उससे भी अगर उसकी solubility अच्छी नहीं होती, then we are shifting to another dosage form like suspension. Okay, so because of that, this is a disadvantage because most of the drugs present today are insoluble in one or the other vehicle. Okay, then next disadvantage is palatability. Okay, since they are present in the solution form, we can directly feel the taste of that particular drug, right? If it is bitter, then we will feel the bitter taste. Okay, and that's why this is a disadvantage of this solution forms or the monophasic liquid dosage forms. Then we are having another disadvantage is stability problems. Okay, जो solid dosage forms में जो drugs होते हैं, they are more stable compared to the liquid dosage form. Okay, so this is another disadvantage. Then another disadvantage is about bulkiness. Okay, वो bulky होते हैं और spill भी हो सकते हैं. Spillage can be another problem. Okay, so these are few advantages and disadvantages. Now we'll see the classification part. Okay, under internal use we are having aqueous. Under aqueous we are having mixtures, solutions, syrup, linctures, draught and drops. Okay, then we are having hydroalcoholic. Under hydroalcoholic we are having elixirs. Okay, then oral topical. Under oral topical we are having mouthwash, gargle, throat pain and sprays. Okay, then ones which are instilled in the body like douches, enema, ear drops, nasal drops and nasal sprays. And the ones which are used topically, उसमें आता है solutions, spray, lotions, liniment, paint and collodion. Okay, so now we'll see one by one. So mixtures. Okay, internal use में first आता है mixtures, oral solutions. So mixture is a liquid preparation, okay, in which the medicament or medicaments are dissolved or suspended in a switchable vehicle, and they are not prepared to keep them for a longer period of time, okay, because they are mainly used for the short acute conditions like cough and indigestion, okay. An example over here is ammonium chloride mixture. The next one is linctuses, okay. In case of linctuses, they are the preparation, viscous preparation, okay, monophasic liquid containing high proportion of syrup, okay, and they are intended to be sipped and swallowed very slowly, okay, because of the demulation action, okay. They give the demulation action, and because of that, they should be sipped and swallowed very slowly, okay, in the treatment of cough or in case of sore throat, okay. Then mostly linctuses contain sedative and expectorant drugs, okay, and they see the vehicle gives the demulcent or soothing action, okay, on the sore mucous membrane of the throat, okay. And for prolonged action, the linctuses should be given undiluted, okay. But if the dose is less than 5 ml, then the part of the dose is diluted with the syrup or linctus, okay. So iska example hai codeine linctus, okay. Now this linctuses should contain a label, okay, stating that sip and swallow without the aid of water, okay. जो pharmacist है उसे patient को बताना पड़ेगा कि you should not drink it with water, okay. Sip it and swallow it very slowly for the desired action, okay. So these things we have to mention. Then comes the syrups, okay. Syrups are the sweet, viscous, and nearly saturated aqueous solution of sucrose, okay. They can be medicated syrups, okay, containing medicament, or they can be a flavored syrups, okay, which are used as a vehicle, okay. They are mainly used as a vehicle, sweetening agent, flavoring agent, okay, to mask the bitter taste and saline taste in oral liquids, okay. Now this is very important, okay. Syrup, according to Indian Pharmacopoeia, contains 66.7% weight by weight of sucrose, and syrup, according to USP, contains 85% weight by volume and 64.74% weight by weight of sucrose. Okay, this can be an MCQ. Then self-preservative activity of syrup attributed to high osmotic pressure. Okay, जब high osmotic pressure होगा तब माइक्रोबियल ग्रोथ बहुत कम होगी, दैट इज दे आर इनवर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल, ओके. माइक्रोबियल ग्रोथ इज इनवर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल टू द हाई ऑस्मोटिक प्रेशर, ओके. जितना सुक्रोज ज्यादा होगा उतना ऑस्मोटिक प्रेशर ज्यादा होगा, और जितना ऑस्मोटिक प्रेशर ज्यादा होगा उतनी उसकी माइक्रोबियल ग्रोथ कम होगी, ओके. एंड व्हाई माइक्रोबियल ग्रोथ विल बी लेस? बिकॉज सिंस दिस इज अ ऑस्मोटिक प्रेशर इज हाई, ओके, जो माइक्रोब्स के अंदर का पानी है वो बाहर आएगा, ओके, एंड देन दिस माइक्रोब विल अंडरगो डेथ और इट मे inhibit the growth, okay, and because of that high osmotic pressure will lead to decrease in microbial growth. Then but it is not advisable to prepare such saturated solution, okay. This also this thing is also there, that it is not advisable to prepare such saturated solutions, okay. Then we'll see the next part. The crystallization of sucrose can be minimized by addition of glycerin, sorbitol, propylene glycol. Okay, since we know कि ये जो syrups है वो बहुत saturated होते हैं, right? And if any fluctuation in temperature take place, it can lead to crystallization. Okay, और वो किससे avoid करते हैं हम? Glycerin से या sorbitol से या propylene glycol से. Okay. Then next one. The terpeneless forms of flavoring substances are mainly used as flavored syrups, okay. Examples of them are lemon spirit, orange peel spirit, okay. Then next one, artificial syrups, okay. Artificial syrups are sweet, viscous, and non-sugar syrups in which sweet taste is built upon viscous agent, okay, using artificial sweetener, okay. यहाँ पर हम polyols use कर सकते हैं. Polyols यानी sorbitol, then glycerine, propylene glycol, okay. And जो celluloses है यानी methyl cellulose, hydroxyethyl cellulose, okay. ये सारे celluloses है. जो sorbitals है, they are converted into glucose, but they are not increasing the blood glucose level, okay. They are having very low calorific value. And this methyl cellulose or the hydroxyethyl cellulose which are there, they are not hydrolyzed and they are not absorbed through GIT, okay. Hence both of these polyols and cellulose are having very less caloric intake, okay, calorific value. Then we'll see certain artificial sweeteners. Aspartame. Okay, aspartame is 100 to 200 times as sweet compared to cane sugar. Okay, then saccharin, that is the orthosulfobenzimide, is 550 times sweeter than the cane sugar. Sucralose is 600 times sweeter than the cane sugar, and aspartame is 2000 times sweeter than the cane sugar. Okay, so these are some examples of artificial sweeteners. An example over here is Livolux syrup. Draughts. Okay, so draughts are the monophasic liquids intended to be taken as a single dose. Okay, most of the cases it is 50 ml by oral route. The drug is dissolved or dispersed in a suitable solvent. Okay, and the suitable solvents such as water, syrup, and the flavored preparation, and it is packed as a single dose. Okay, and the dilution of liquid is not acceptable. Why? Because it can lead to the stability problems. Okay, example over here is peraldehyde draught. Okay, then pediatric drops. Pediatric drops में आता है जो small dose liquids होते हैं, okay, which are administered without dilution with the help of dropper. Okay, dilution of liquid is not acceptable because of the serious problems with stability. Okay, or larger dose or diluted liquids would be inappropriate for the treatment of infants. So example over here is peritol drops. फिर आता है हाइड्रो अल्कोहलिक. ओके, हाइड्रो अल्कोहलिक में एग्जांपल है एलिक्सर. एलिक्सर आर द क्लियर स्वीटेंड एंड फ्लेवर्ड हाइड्रो अल्कोहलिक सॉल्यूशन फॉर ओरल यूज. Non-medicated elixirs such as aromatic elixirs are mainly used as a flavored vehicles, and medicated elixirs are having their own therapeutic value. Okay, and the alcohol content, okay, most of the cases it is ethanol that varies between 3 to 40%. Okay, example over here is bromohexane elixir. Then comes the oral topical. Okay, oral topical में सबसे पहले है gargles. So gargles are aqueous solutions used to prevent or treat the throat infections. Okay, they are usually available in concentrated forms, and they should be given the direction for dilution with warm water before use. Okay, since they are present in concentrated form. फिर जो gargles है, okay, they are brought into intimate contact with the mucous membrane, okay, to exert their action, and they are used to relieve the soreness in mild throat infection. Okay, then we'll see the different ingredients like phenol, thymol are generally present in small concentration for their antibacterial activity. Okay, then we are having potassium chlorate, okay, which is having weak astringent activity. Okay, and it also stimulates the secretion of saliva. Okay, to relieve which relieves the dryness. Then potassium chloride and phenol gargles, then betadine gargles are the example of gargles. Okay, and these gargles should have a label mentioning that it is for external use only and it should not be swallowed in large amounts. Okay, the pharmacist has to tell the patient that it should not be swallowed with large amounts. Okay, it should not be swallowed in large amounts. Okay, and the dilution with water, that also thing pharmacist should tell the patient. Mouthwashes, they are aqueous solutions with a pleasant taste and odor used to make a clean and deodorize the buccal cavity. Then generally they contain antibacterial agents, alcohol, glycerin, sweetening agents, flavoring agents, and coloring agents. Okay, an example over here is zinc sulfate, zinc chloride mouthwash. Okay, in case of mouthwash, these are mostly used for the cosmetic purpose. Okay, and the gargles are mostly used for the medication or the therapeutic purpose. Then we are having throat paints. Throat paints are viscous preparations of medicament for local action in pharynx. Okay, here the glycerin is used because of its viscosity, which prevents it being washed away rapidly by saliva. Okay, and thus prolong the action. And usually ये जो throat paints है वो brush से apply करते हैं. Okay, and they are used in many types of inflammation like stomatitis, tonsillitis, etc. Example over here is compound iodine paint. Okay, common ingredients used in throat paints like anti-infective agents like phenol, iodine, gentian violet, astringents like tannic acid. Okay, they are individually having various functions. Like iodine is used in the treatment of pharyngitis and tonsillitis. Then gentian violet is used for the oral candidiasis. Then tannic acid reduces the sore throat. Okay. So these are few ingredients which are used in throat paints. And here also the pharmacist should tell the patient about how to use the brush. Okay. So all these things has to mentioned over here. Then sprays. Sprays are aqueous or non-aqueous monophasic liquid intended for spraying in the throat, nose, or on the skin, and also to medicate the upper and lower respiratory tract. Both nasal and throat spray are used to medicate the respiratory tract. And non-volatile solvents such as glycerin, propylene glycol are added to control the size of the tablet. Okay. Example over here is iodine spray. Now, we have more questions to solve. But before that, if you want more such videos, you can subscribe to our channel, Dharmesh Mehta GPAT. You can press the bell icon and you will be notified every time a video is posted. We also have a free WhatsApp group. So if you want to join the classes or if you want to get add on that group, you can contact this number. You can mention your name, your college name, and we'll do the needful. Okay, so now let's move on to the questions. Question number 1. Liquid oral preparation in which the vehicle is a concentrated aqueous solution of sucrose used is called as lotion, emulsion, syrup, and tincture. Okay, it is given concentrated aqueous solution of sucrose. So the sucrose meaning the correct answer is syrup. Okay, next question regarding the pharmaceutical elixirs, which of the following statements are true? Okay, preservatives are required in all elixir formulation. Elixirs generally require the addition of sweetening agents. Elixirs generally contain less than 10% of alcohol USP, and colors are required for all elixir formulations. Okay, so the correct option over here is B, that is elixirs generally require the addition of sweetening agents, right? Then preservatives are not always required, colors also are not always required, and elixirs are generally between 3 to 40%, right? So this is the correct answer over here is elixirs generally require the addition of sweetening agent. Then next question. Regarding the pharmaceutical linctuses, which of the following statements are true? Preservatives are required in all linctus formulation. Linctuses generally require the addition of synthetic agents, sweetening agents. Then linctuses formulation may contain high concentration of sucrose, and colors are required for all the linctus formulation. तो यहाँ पर करेक्ट आंसर है लिंक्टस फॉर्मुलेशन में कंटेन हाई कॉन्सेंट्रेशन ऑफ सुक्रोज. ओके, प्रिजर्वेटिव्स आर नॉट ऑलवेज रिक्वायर्ड, कलर्स आल्सो आर नॉट ऑलवेज रिक्वायर्ड, और हमेशा सिंथेटिक स्वीटनिंग एजेंट्स हम यूज नहीं करते. ओके, देन फोर्थ क्वेश्चन regarding the pharmaceutical oral syrups, which of the following statements are true? Okay, so preservatives are required in all oral syrups. Then in certain syrups, the concentration of sucrose may be less than or equal to 80% weight by weight. Sugar-free syrups require the inclusion of viscosity modifying agent, and colors are required for all oral syrups. Okay, so this colors and preservatives, since it is a syrup, it is having high concentration, high osmotic pressure, right? High concentration of sucrose. So it doesn't actually require preservative in most of the cases. Okay, so these preservatives colors are not always required. Then in certain syrups, concentration of sucrose is less than or equal to 80%. Yes, this statement is correct, right? And also the sugar-free syrups require the viscosity modifying agent. So the both B and C options are correct. Then fifth question. Which of the following is used to increase the solubility of iodine in water? Options are potassium iodide, sodium iodide, both, none of the above. So the correct answer over here is both. Okay, this iodine which is there, they are forming this potassium iodide and sodium iodide are forming the soluble complexes of iodine. So they will be more soluble in water. So because of that, potassium iodide and sodium iodide both are used. So the correct answer over here is both. Okay, that's it for today. We'll see you in the next part. Thank you.